live, bro.
We're live?
Great, dude.
Dude, we're live.
Well, we're not live because you didn't go live on YouTube yet.
I don't know. Actually,
Now you're live. Now we're live. What's going on, D-Bags? Hope you guys are doing well. We're back here again with another episode of the Detox Podcast, episode 246 to be exact. If you're new here, I'm Darren, Rita. I'm your host. Feel free to connect me at any of the links down below. And if you enjoy podcasts, music, comedy, or hooping videos, do consider subscribing. We've got a whole lot of that stuff going on around here. When you do subscribe, leave a like or hang out with us here in the live chat like you're going to do today. Helps us share conversations and laughs like this with more people. So do consider doing that. Now I've got a couple of church announcements to make before we get into the episode. But before I do that, or I guess first of which I should say, is Darren Rita Live, baby, up on the screen right now. I'm performing live at a brand new Pabst Theater Group venue in Milwaukee. It's on the screen. It's linked down below. Tickets are only $15, dude. For $15, your life will change, okay? You will witness things that have been written about for centuries in things like the Bible, the Quran, any other religious text you can think of. Those types of things might be happening at this event. All right. There's also a free after party at the Explorium Brew Pub, 3rd Ward, Milwaukee. So if you come to the show, you get that as well. So for $15, your life is going to change. You're going to witness some insane stuff, and you get a free after party. But no, in all seriousness, guys, I'm really excited to do this. I'm headlining with the guy who I'm interviewing today, as well as the people you've heard the last couple of weeks, and the guy you're going to hear next week at this new really, really cool venue. I was just there a couple of weeks ago, and it's beautiful. I'm excited. I'm really, really pumped. We've been working really hard for the last few months, and it's going to be a special night. So don't miss this because it's going to be really big. Like I said, the links are in the link is in the description below. So check that out. Now, before we can get into the episode, I got to talk to you guys about your grooming routine because you've been doing it wrong. All right, we've all been there before. Maybe you waited a few weeks to trim the hedges, and now the cutesy little garden you had down there is a bit of a sprawling, moist rainforest. So what do? You start hacking at it with a machete, maybe a cheap razor you got from Kmart back when Kmart existed. I don't know, blue light special. Fought some lady for it. But you're doing that now, and you realize very quickly that's a dangerous game that you're playing. All right, you don't got to do that anymore. You got to go nuts. Go Nutz. Link down below, by the way, is a revolutionary, first of its kind, personal grooming device that's unlike anything else on the market. First off, it's shaped like a ball for your balls. It works in a circular motion as opposed to a rake. And its patented attachment right here that you can see on the front of the box, this guy right here is designed to not cut you. So give them a try today. At thegonutz.com. Use code Rita47 to save a little bit of money and help us out. What do we got going on right there? Oh, someone's got us on the TV. But yeah, use code Rita47 at thegonutz.com. Get your grooming done right. Stop playing yourself with these other products and razors that swear they're going to protect you, but they use the same tech and then leave you with the same cuts and nicks. So that's one last time. That's thegonutz.com. Code Rita47. Check them out. Now, with all that good stuff out of the way, I'm pumped to be kicking it with my guest this week. He's a crazy guitar player, the boyfriend of a friend of mine, and he's got the best facial hair in the game. Let's give a wet detox welcome to Jacob Hermes. He's here. I said it right this time, right? I said the last name right this time?
yeah.
Yeah? What made you decide to go with the chops? That's like the number one question I get at. People will swipe up on things that I post of you and be like, dude, that rocks.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty much the reason why.
Yeah, you're like, yo, you know what? I just want to give off that energy. Like, fuck.
There was inspiration. There's this group called the Allman Brothers that you might have heard of. I'm sure you've heard a few songs by them.
Sing one.
You know, Midnight Rider.
How does it go? Midnight Rider.
Something, Midnight Rider.
Yeah, I think I've heard it just like that.
Yeah. No, they're like this they're a white blues group, but Southern rock. I guess.
You think I could pull off the chops, maybe?
I think everyone can, and I think they should.
Yeah, really.
It's really freeing, honestly.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. Like, I wanted to have chops for so long. I probably told you this already, but I didn't do it until I went on a week-long camping trip. You know how you do that. You kind of just...
You're like, I got to
grow out.
Yeah, it's that masculine urge to like. Everyone did that at the beginning of COVID too. Exactly. Everyone was like, I mean, that's how this happened.
Yeah, kind of like a no shave November thing. Yeah, you know. And then I just never shaved it off after that, and
really,
I was like so afraid to walk into places.
Is it weird? Like you're just shaving this every day?
It's actually difficult. You got.
I was gonna say
you have to like separate the hairline and make sure you get a nice.
Yeah. Do you use like an electric razor first and then like a regular skin razor? Or no,
electric. It's like it looks like a regular razor,
but it's electric.
Yeah, it's that same shape.
Okay.
It's just I don't like to spend too much time on.
Yeah.
I don't really like grooming myself.
No, you just let it go. Just let it go. I respect that.
But at the same time, this is like the one thing that
you keep.
Like I don't do it. No product in my hair. I barely ever even use conditioner. Sometimes I don't even use shampoo. I just fucking clean it with water.
Really? You use shampoo, but you don't use conditioner.
Wait.
You should use conditioner more.
With
the kind of hair you have, you should use conditioner more than you use shampoo.
It's expensive though, man.
Yeah, bro. I got like 10 pounds of.
Like I just run out of it all the time, and then Tay gets mad because I used all of it.
Oh yeah, you're using her potions?
I can't even imagine. And it's not like you can use a little bit of shampoo when you're doing your hair, you know?
Yeah.
But you have to use a fuck ton of conditioner. The more hair you have.
Yeah.
Otherwise you don't, because when you use an adequate amount of conditioner, goddamn.
It feels beautiful.
God fucking damn.
It feels amazing.
It's really a magical feeling.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
No, it is,
Mike,
man. You're talking right now. Mike knows too, yeah.
And I can't even imagine how much you probably have to use with that amount of hair.
Dude, the amount of money that's in my hair right now.
That's what I'm saying.
Is
not only money, but time.
Yeah, dude. You know, my hair routine is on Mondays, bro. It's awful. It's so long.
That goes back to my philosophy of just trying not to look in the mirror very often.
Really?
Yeah. Just then when you finally do, like with these big lights blast on you, you're like, God damn, that's me.
You're like, oh, I'm looking good. See, I get the opposite effect. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
I'm like, ouch.
That's probably the byproduct of looking in the mirror too much.
Maybe.
You know?
Maybe I've got too much time.
You're going to see a lot more imperfections.
Yeah.
If you think about it, if you only look at yourself very rarely, then when you're naturally going to see the good things before you see the bad things.
I guess so.
I think that I look like an idiot. I think that I look horrible all the time.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, oh shit, that ain't that bad.
I guess that's fair. I think I look like an idiot too, but I am wearing a shirt with my face on it, so I don't know. It's hard to avoid my face in my job. So,
I live by that.
Yeah.
I live by that.
That's wild, man. So what have you been up to aside from playing guitar in our live show that's coming up? What have you been up to that's got you excited? Anything cool going on?
Well, my life is pretty music oriented, you know.
Yeah.
I like to explore new music. I like when people give me recommendations for new music. I like going to see live shows. We for the last 3 Fridays we've been seeing live show or 2. Yeah, and then this Friday we're seeing one, and then
next
we're gonna be in.
You're gonna be in one the week after that. That's crazy.
And I got more coming up after that.
Okay.
But yeah, it's pretty music oriented, you know. And I really like inspirational movies that have to do with music. And
what's the best one you've seen, or favorite maybe that you've seen recently?
Pistol.
I haven't seen Pistol.
Sex Pistol. It's a series about how the Sex Pistols started up.
Yeah.
It's very punky, but you know, there's that thing that I always tell you where sometimes you just need to hold your middle finger up to the world.
Yeah, yeah.
And that is like the essence of that. You know,
is in
they
that
do
show.
exactly what they want to do and how they want to do it, and they don't give a fuck about what anyone has to say about it.
Yeah.
Like Ben and Simon would love that shit.
Yeah.
And I know I've told Ben to watch it.
Have you seen what's that on?
It's on maybe Hulu, Netflix.
Okay.
It's not a bigger one.
Have you seen? I was gonna say, have you seen? You would probably like. McKenna loves this show. I think it's Daisy Jones and the Six, and it's about. I think it's like loosely.
Daisy Jones
and the Six, and it's like I think it's like loosely based off Greta Van Fleet or I can't remember. It's
Greta Van Fleet.
Yeah, I can't.
That's a new band though.
No, or not Greta Van. My bad.
Led
not
Zeppelin?
Greta Van Fleet. Who's the one? I don't know these fucking bands.
Yeah.
Who's the one? Who did Landslide?
Oh, Fleetwood.
Fleetwood Mac. That's what it's based off.
Oh, I've heard. Yeah. I think Ben told me about this
dude.
too.
Apparently, it's really good. I've seen clips. She showed me clips. It looks really cool. But I haven't watched it. She's watched it a couple of times. So
yeah.
That one's good.
Those shows, those movies. I mean, especially, I think you would relate. Like, have you seen Ray?
No.
Really?
No. I do love movies like that. Or like even. Like, have you seen, well, we're just going to do this. We're going to play this game where have you seen this for a minute? All right, so bear with us.
We have some in common.
Okay, have you seen, what's the one, have you seen the one with Mark Ruffalo? And he's like he's like an A&R guy for like a failing label.
What does A&R mean?
It's like an artist relations person for this like failing label. And so he's like trying to sign somebody and he's in this bar and this chick is at an open mic. her friends like convince her to play at this open mic. She's really good. And his like marriage is falling apart. I can't remember.
Is it based on a true story?
No,
I definitely haven't seen it.
That one's good though too. But My Name is Dolomite is another one of these movies that's like a. Have you seen that one?
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
So fun.
Yeah.
I love
fun,
movies like
but,
that.
Like coming from like our perspective, you know.
Yeah.
It's kind of powerful. A lot of ways,
I love seeing a movie where, especially or any piece of media, it could be a TV show, it could be even a book, where it's like somebody that has the odds stacked against them, or like they're trying to do something that no one else can understand.
Yeah.
And watching how that slowly builds into something, because like we already know. I didn't know who Dolomite was specifically, but like people that did, like he has a huge impact. He had a huge impact on the comedic scene.
No shit.
And so it's like for people that already knew him, like when you get to see kind of like how that happened. I know biopics can be kind of lame to some people.
Yeah.
But when done right, dude, I think they're fucking cool.
I can't believe that was based on a true story.
It's kind of wild to think.
That's fucking crazy. I'd never heard of him either.
Yeah.
I don't even think I knew it was based on a true story until I started watching it, and it said based on a true story.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I had the same exact thing. I didn't know who he was either.
No fucking way this is real.
What about The Room? Have you seen The Room? The like really terrible movie with Tommy Wiseau?
No.
So there's The Disaster Artist came out probably, I want to say 10-ish years ago, within the last 10 years. And it's I think it's James Franco playing Tommy Wiseau, but it's like about how the movie The Room was made. It's unanimously known as like the worst movie ever made, the worst film ever made. But it has this huge it has this huge cult following now, and so people watch it. It repremiers every year. They watch it in the theaters. It sells out, and it's just this like really shitty movie that this weird dude Tommy Wiseau that no one knows where he's really from, how old he actually is, like just like finessed through like faking checks and like all this other shit to get it made. And like it's crazy like watching this like comedic version retelling of how it was made.
It's kind of like a parody.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a parody, but it still like touches on some of the, this is how it happened. Yeah, which is fun.
That's given me some catch me if you can vibes.
Yeah,
Leo.
Yeah.
Or, apparently the Fire Island. Island. It's like a festival.
Fire Festival. Yeah.
Fire Festival.
Yeah. That didn't work out though. That was like a big scam though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just saw Tosh. You know Tosh has his own podcast now.
Yeah.
Very
really
great.
Good.
Very fucking great. If you like Tosh, you'll love that. It's exactly.
I've already watched a few episodes in their entirety. He's fucking hilarious. Yeah. And he's still
that dude is insanely funny.
Yeah.
But he had that guy on there. The dude who he went to prison and then.
Oh yeah.
Like he has all these really weird guests on there.
Yeah, he had like his wife's doctor and
his
like
wife's gynecologist.
That's what. Yeah.
Was his first episode.
Yeah, dude.
Like really, and the most recent one was his producer's plumber.
Yeah.
And he said that in the beginning. He doesn't want to have like celebrities on. Yeah. And I love that because everyone does that. You know.
Yeah. I'll say even doing this podcast, man, some of my favorite episodes I've done were with like people I worked with at Target. Like like random, and like we would just talk about random shit. Like one of my homies, Matt, who he's gonna be back on the show soon. He just has like had a pet tarantula.
Is he the little bit older guy?
Yeah, older. He's wearing glasses the whole episode.
I saw.
There's like a conspiracy right now on my TikTok that people think he's blind. Like in all the comments, people are like,
"Dude, that's so funny you say that."
Is this guy blind? It's like a big like people are trying to figure out if he's blind or not. They're like, "That's everyone." Every comment's like, "Dude's got a lot of balls for fucking with spiders being blind." And it's like he's not blind. He's talking about like he's describing colors.
Like the glasses he was wearing, or I think
his mannerisms
too, demeanor too. Yeah, like
he's just
kind of the way he sits and
yeah.
Can never tell where he's looking with those glasses.
He's one of my favorite people, dude, that I talk to on the show. Like I love just having.
I can tell you guys vibed.
Yeah, just having random people on. Like I think is fun. Don't get me wrong, the show is not at a point where we could turn away some big. I would love for some big guests to help me make a little bit of money here. But you know, I'm happy having my friends on.
You gotta talk to Coco, man. She can get Bobby Lee in here.
Yeah, she might, dude. She might. But yeah, dude. It just. It's funny when you have these wild episodes. Speaking of, we have some people here in the live chat. Zoe says, I'm dying. Greta Van Fleet. Oh, yeah, see, I'm getting made fun of by Dale's in here. Taya says, love. Ralph, this guy Ralph comments every week, go away. So shout out Ralph. I don't know who he is, but he just wants us to go away. Have you seen The Dirt?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
Another great one.
Is that a movie or a show?
That's way more comedy-based than I am, but great show, nevertheless. It's about Motley Crue.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, fucking raunchy as shit, dude.
Have you seen Entourage?
Does that have to do with music?
No, it's like it's loosely based off
That was
Mark
like
Wahlberg.
on FX, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's on HBO Max now. But yeah, it was on HBO. That's what it was. It was on HBO. It's kind of just like a really raunchy show about like how it was like in Hollywood in the 2000s if you were an A-list celebrity.
I know.
And it's kind of fun to watch.
Adam Devine from The Workaholics.
Yeah.
That's like his favorite show ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't know that. I like that guy. But the show's funny. I rewatched it. Some of it didn't age super well, but other parts is like the agent, like Ari Gold, is the funniest thing that I think I've seen on TV.
Yeah.
In the long, like, I don't know if I've seen a character on a TV show be funnier than him.
No shit. So it is a comedy.
Yeah, it's comedic driven, and it's not like, it's pretty low stakes. Like it's kind of, I don't want to call it like I don't want to discredit it and call it like garbage TV or anything, but it's like the stakes aren't very high. Like it'll be like one episode, oh, Vince isn't gonna get the part, and then by the end of the episode, they're like make another phone call. And it's like, oh, Vince is in the movie. Hell yeah. It's like
Were
never
they half-hour episodes.
I think they were like 40 minutes, but like it just never really felt like they were gonna like, other than the first season, there wasn't like a lot of stakes.
It was like when it was coming out though, it was before streaming apps, right?
No, yeah. It was back.
I feel like there was a big change in momentum with TV shows. You know, it's like it's kind of like AD and BC.
Yeah.
You know,
streaming before
like
streaming.
for sure.
BS
I mean,
and
especially
AS.
like Game of Thrones came out around that time too.
Yeah.
I think that was a huge sway in the whole TV show.
Were you
game.
into that?
Game of Thrones?
Game of Thrones?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Did you like how it
I
ended?
think it was like the third season when I started watching.
Yeah.
My buddy Riles, shout out to Riles. How you doing, Riles?
Shout out Riles. He's out here. What happened? So you started watching the third season.
What are you doing, Riles?
Who is Riles, bro? Is he getting bitches? What is he doing?
No,
he's not getting any bitches.
No, he's got a bitch.
Oh,
I mean, she's a nice lady.
He's got a. Okay, there we go. Okay, he's got eight.
Riles is one of my old friends, just real goofy. You would love Riles.
Okay,
you would love Riles.
Riles
is such a good dude.
Come to our show March 29th. I'll get to meet you.
He lives in Indiana.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Fly
like a
here
weird. That's
for
Easter.
Easter.
What I mean. He's
get out of Indiana. There's nothing going on in Indiana,
that's
bro.
That's why you just said on repeat. What are you doing, Riles?
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck are you doing,
yeah,
Riles?
what are you doing out in fucking Indiana, bro? There's nothing going on.
There was no one out there.
There's nothing for you.
And he just left.
Wow.
Great dude, though.
Okay. So he got you on game. He got you on the Game of Thrones.
Yeah, he told me that someone chops the head off a horse. He was like trying to get me. Have you seen it?
No.
Oh shit.
That's okay. No, I'm not gonna watch it. I'm not gonna watch it. Probably.
Maybe that scene will get you to want to watch
Maybe.
it.
I've heard all the highlight, like the red wedding and like this other shit. Like I've heard about all of it. So like I know kind of. I just know people weren't really happy with the way it ended.
Yeah, I think that's real. I think people were just like their expectations were in a weird place, you know. But then again, knowing that you don't like the new Star Wars, I would put you in that realm.
Yeah.
I'm pretty easygoing. Like,
oh yeah.
They won me over with the first 7 seasons. There really wasn't anything they could have done in the 8th season to make me not like it, you know?
Really?
I just trust them.
Yeah.
Same with Star Wars. I mean, I know there's different creators and everything, but
yeah, I
just get past that place of being like I'm not even objective anymore. It's just like I like it before it comes out.
Oh,
just because,
okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do
just
that with music artists sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I do that with artists where like I like an album. I'm like, holy shit, this is the best album. And then I'll go back listen to everything else they've done. And then before the new album comes out, like they'll just drop the lead single. And I'm like, this is album of the year.
Yeah, right.
This is the best album.
Well,
and then it comes out.
Your respect already.
Yeah.
You know?
And then
I believe in that.
Yeah, I do too. I do think like I guess with film and TV, I get a little different where it's like there's narrative, like there's structure in narratives and there's character arcs that like are, if there is an arc set up and then you just veer off and you can't give me a good reason for why. Yeah. It ruins my suspended disbelief. Like I can't fake that made sense, and I'm gonna poke holes in it.
Yeah, I should also say that you know, I have a pretty critical eye for those things too, you know.
But you like the new Star Wars?
Go, shit, a little bit of a cop out there, you know. That sucks. But then I'm over it immediately.
Okay. Yeah, I get. No, I can't.
Yeah,
I can't.
I know. If it's bad. Most people can't.
If it's bad, if it's good,
what helps with that?
A little bit of that. Okay. Yeah.
Then maybe just doesn't matter what's in front of you.
A little bit of the Mike's magic shrooms maybe will help too.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Those too.
Yeah. No, I just couldn't get over, man. I can't believe that they just invented new force abilities and new high-speed travel that can all of a sudden light speed through things.
Oh, with all the TV shows that they're doing.
Yeah, just
a little cheesy for sure.
Come on, man.
But I'm alright. It's just
I like Star Wars. I'm never gonna like. Look at this room, bro. I'm never gonna not like Star Wars. You know, but
I'm not so critical to things that have already earned my respect. You know, that I leave that for like new shit.
Yeah, that's fair.
But honestly, damn near everything that you could say negatively about any of the Star Wars things, I probably 100% agree with.
Yeah.
It just never swayed my opinion.
That's fair. Yeah, I'm just not gonna. We don't got to go down that rabbit hole because I did that last week. I do that
all the time.
Yeah, I could hate Star Wars all the time.
At practice, there's a big Star Wars dispute all the time.
Yeah, if someone brings it up.
Like we're all about to fucking pull out our lightsabers.
Yeah, I got some in here actually. And some nice ones too. But okay, so aside from Star Wars and aside from us gushing about different movies and stuff that we like, you mentioned that music. You're very music centric when you have time to yourself, when you're not working and when you're not at rehearsal, right? Yeah. You're enjoying new music. You say you're listening to new recommendations. Anybody you want to put the people on that it's been in your ear lately?
Well, we did just see Black Joe Lewis and the Honey Bears.
We did just see them, and he was shredding, man.
Is a funky motherfucker.
Yeah, bro.
He's way better, like, in studio, I think, because he has horns and, you know, it's not so much about the spectacle at all, which I feel like he's a little more about the spectacle on stage, you know.
Yeah.
But goddamn, is he funky and groovy and makes you want to move your feet.
Yeah, dude.
We're going to see J.J. Grey. I would put him above Black Joe.
In what? In like guitarist ability or
no? Just
performer-wise?
So soulful, so passionate. Actually, that's Taya's dad's favorite band. That's how I got turned on to it.
Really?
Yeah.
Shit.
And I was like, oh, let's see what Davey Boy likes. Let's see what he's made out of.
Yeah.
And like the first few songs I listened to, I was like, wow, blew my mind. They're so soulful and groovy, and you know, they're not like too slow, they're not too fast. Yeah. They have a good mix of everything. I feel like just about anyone could listen to their music and enjoy it.
Where you seen him at?
The Riviera Theater in Chicago.
Oh, cool. Very dope.
Yeah.
That's cool. So you guys be really getting around to seeing a lot of live music.
Yeah.
What is it as someone who plays live music, what is it about witnessing a live show that does it for you, that makes you want to keep going? And then maybe even makes you, I'm sure you probably check out even people that aren't quite as big, that you're not already a fan of. Like, because I know you're into that. So like what is it about being in the room while it's being played for you that makes it exciting?
I think it really is how confident they are up there and how well they control the audience, you know.
Yeah.
Anyone who knows what a good show is
is
going to put on a really good show when they're up there.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. I think do you think when I know I kind of already know the answer to this, when you're watching people perform, do you fluctuate between like total enjoyment mind and then like, ooh, as a musician, like, oh, that I see what they're doing technically here and that's cool, or oh, I would have maybe done this creatively differently or whatever. Like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And also even more towards the negative side of being like, man, I'm kind of getting bored right now.
Yeah. Yeah, you get critical.
Like, I love Black Joe Lewis, but there was a good 3-song span towards the beginning of his show.
Yeah.
And I was like, God damn, man, this is a little boring.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think if there is if you're going to have a lull, I would say that's probably the best time to have a lull.
Yeah, I think it is. I think that's every musician's kind of time to play what they want to play and not what's...
Yeah.
You know? But unfortunately, that is kind of where I'm at now, is... We just saw this guy, a Cajun blues man, Tab Benoit.
Okay.
Who I was calling Benoit for the longest
time. Really?
Okay. Gets up on stage and he's like, yeah, it's Benoit.
Wow. You're like, 2 tickets to Tab Benoit, please. And the person at the window's like, what the fuck?
But, you know, he's an amazing musician, and it just got to the point where a lot of his shit sounded very similar. It was just like old school blues music, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And just, we were there for like 3.5 hours.
Wow.
It's a really long show.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, there were some points in that show when completely mind blown.
Yeah.
Like
the talent is just off the charts.
Oh
like,
my God.
This guy's that good.
And just how he like harnessed everyone, like he just played it up so well and really built up to a climax, and and then kept that somehow. It's an art to be able to do that, to like build up to a climax like that at a live show and be able to hold people up there unanimously for a long time. That was his encore set.
Oh, wow.
And unfortunately, I just went home and I started watching videos about them, and I see that was like the same exact encore set that they like to the note that they play every fucking time.
Does that ruin it for you?
Yeah.
Really?
Because it felt spontaneous, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that...
There's an art to that, too, though.
I know.
That's acting most of the time.
I think it's just because
You felt cheated. You felt cheated. You were like, oh, man, he made that up.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
Damn.
It didn't ruin it at all.
Yeah.
It was still amazing.
That's fair.
But just took a little bit away from it, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm always looking back to, like, Hendrix, where he didn't even know what he was going to do. Yeah. Every show.
I mean, Black Joe Lewis is like that, too.
I know.
Where he was just... I mean, we saw the bass player for Black Joe Lewis was fucking sweating buckets trying to figure out what Joe was going to do next. Like, just
making faces at him.
He's just, like, looking at him like... Okay, when is... And he'd think the next bar is, like, when they're going to change, and then he wouldn't change. He'd be like, all right, I guess I got to keep going. What the... And he, like, wouldn't know what to fucking do. But he held it down. And so you like that. You kind of like that spontaneity.
Oh, yeah. I don't think anything beats a spontaneous moment of excitement. Yeah. I think that's literally the most joy that you could ever feel, you know?
Yeah. I think it's the same thing even, like, in stand-up, right? When it's, like the whole set, they could have a super tight hour set that's amazing. But the moment that, like, somebody maybe heckled or said something stupid and they had, like, something so quick that was, like, so amazing, like, that's the highlight of the show. And it's like, fuck, man, I guess all this shit I worked a year writing, you know, this 20-second interaction was funnier than all of that. But that's how it is.
Sam Morrill?
Yeah.
Or Morrill,
he's so
whatever.
Funny, dude.
Did you see that clip of him? He goes, someone heckles him, and the first thing he said, he's like, buddy, I've seen a million versions of you. That's how he started his rebuttal.
That's awesome. That's awesome, dude. It is awesome.
I think he just booed him.
Yeah.
The guy just booed him, and he's like, buddy, I've seen a million versions of you. Yeah. Dying.
I don't understand why anybody heckles at a comedy show. Like, I just don't get it, dude. Yeah. It's so dumb.
You're asking for it.
Yeah, and it's just dumb. Just, like, enjoy the show. Like, I'm there to, like, witness how good they are at this thing that they've been working on. And you're just like, let me make it about me for the next 20 seconds. Like,
especially if they're not drunk.
Yeah.
Where
does that come from?
How do you live your life?
Yeah. Let's see. Coco says, let's go, Jake. Also, I'm rocking with the same shirt as you, Darren. Okay, hell yeah. She's rocking the shirt today. There we go. There we go. That's what these are going to be available at our show, by the way, on the 29th. Kind of some fun stuff for the podcast. You know, I'm curious. It was St. Patty's Day this weekend. And I know you were kind of not feeling great on St. Patrick's Day itself, but I'm sure you celebrated St. Patrick's Day weekend.
That was probably the part of the reason why I didn't feel so well.
I didn't feel so well. That's fair. What are you a big St. Patty's Day guy? Like, every year, do you really look forward to it?
No, didn't even know it was St. Patrick's Day until I think the day before.
Oh, really?
Like, Teo was like, yeah, we're going to do stuff on Saturday. I'm like, okay.
You're like, shit. All
and
right.
then I saw something about St. Patrick's Day. And I was like, that's why we're going to do stuff.
Is that how plans usually work for you? Is it like the lady will tell you, like, hey, we're doing this, and you're like, all right.
Or do you it's like pretty vice versa.
Okay.
I would say it's half and half, you know.
Pretty even.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've definitely seen that before, where I've had friends where, like, their girl just tells them, like, this is what we're doing. And it's like that for always. Yeah. Like, no matter what. Like, I'll literally be like, hey, man, what are you doing Friday? And be like, I don't know, man. I got to go check with the boss. And, like, I'll say that as a joke sometimes. And, like, then I've met people that's, like, a real thing. And vice versa. Like, chicks and dudes.
If you like doing shit, I think that's pretty essential. Like, for me, that's kind of a pretty essential thing in a relationship, you know?
Yeah.
Because we both like doing stuff. So if you like doing stuff, then you better also have shit to do going on, you know?
Yeah.
Which she does all the time. I mean, I have so many different friend groups now, you know? And not that everyone can all hang out together.
Bro. Everyone wants to be around the chops, man.
Yeah.
There's magnetism that comes off of those things.
I don't know about that.
Pulling people in.
It's just I do make it a point to just if people are funny, and they're good people, that's all I need.
Yeah.
You know, if they respect me and they also have, like, a good edge to them, or they can make me laugh, or even just have good conversation.
Yeah.
I'll probably, you know,
you'll make time.
I'd make my rounds, you know.
Yeah. So you're getting pulled in a lot of different directions. So you couldn't be That's the thing too. Like, it can be hard sometimes when one person in a relationship is like doing a bunch of shit and the other person's not doing anything, and then you have like, I mean, I've been in a relationship like that before, where it was like, she don't want to do anything, she don't want to see anybody, and I'm like, all right, well I do, so like I'm gonna go do this now, and then it's like this weird guilt thing, and I like, I can never. That's something that like in the moment when you're in that, you're like tunnel vision, and you're just like, all right, got to make it work, but then like you get out of it, you're like, why the fuck was I sitting there feeling bad for going to like hang out with people, or going to do something like, you know, it's just a silly thing. But
I don't think that's really avoidable.
Yeah,
I think without that, there's issues on the other side of the spectrum that are probably way worse, like maybe going out and flirting, or you know, to be able to walk that line right down the middle where they want to go out and do a lot with you, but they're also not just like going out and doing hard drugs and you know, sleeping on the streets every night.
That can be fun too, man. Good for your back, you know, sleep on the sidewalk. It's not bad.
Yeah,
What? Okay, so speaking of relationships, right? Speaking of relationships, how we got linked up to do this show was because you're dating my homie Taya Gaines, who's on the show a long, long time ago. How, like, prior to that, did you ever? Is this she like your first girlfriend, or was this like?
I don't think we ever talked about this. Did we?
I kind of know. That's why I'm setting it up a little bit.
From Taya.
I know from you a little bit. I think.
Yeah.
We talked about
never.
Yeah.
Never had a real girlfriend before Taya.
That's crazy.
Not even. Yeah.
For context, how old are you?
27.
27. So when was
we've been together for 3.5 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you went 24 years.
Yeah.
Ish. 23 and a half years without
a virgin.
A virgin too?
Yeah. Well, I tried to have sex once when I was like.
What does that mean?
18.
What does that mean?
It means I didn't finish.
Oh, but you stuck it in though.
I mean, I really didn't even get hard.
Oh, wow.
And then that was kind of the moment.
What were you trying with?
One of my good buds.
Was it a human? It was a woman, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. The next sentence was one of my good buds, and I'm like, well.
No, one of my before that experience, one of my friends had told me, he's like, yeah, man, and he's like, I really respect him, and he's a crazy dude. You would think he's a one night stander all the time.
Yeah,
you'll meet him at the show. He's crazy motherfucker.
Good.
He was like, yeah, man, I don't know. I wouldn't recommend a one night stand. He was like having a real good heart to heart with me because I think he had just had like a bad one.
Yeah.
Or his first bad one night stand, maybe.
Yeah.
This was when we were like sophomores or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I took that so hard, you know.
You were just like, can't be a one night stand.
Yeah.
You were just like, I have to.
I mean, it made so much sense to me.
And you were, I mean, forgive me, you were like kind of religious growing up too, right?
Yeah.
So like, I'm sure
but that it didn't play a part at all.
Really? So you weren't like, were you trying to like the person, did you just know I have to be in a relationship with somebody before I have sex with them? Or were you like, if I have sex with someone, like I'm gonna marry that person? Like how did that?
No, it was just like there had to be more meaning to it. It didn't have to be like we were in a relationship or get married or anything like that. Yeah. It just had to mean more than, you know,
just
sex.
To do it. Yeah.
Even though I was horny as fuck. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Like
you probably nut in your sleep sometimes. I imagine. How much nut did you have pent up?
Actually, that never happened to me.
Really?
Not even once.
I've never had it happen either, but I beat off a lot.
Like a wet dream?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like you. I wanted to ask you about that. A warm, wet welcome.
a warm, wet welcome.
Where did that stem from?
Dude, I don't know. I just started saying it back.
That's fucking dirty,
I started doing intros.
Gets you in the mood right off the bat.
Yeah, you got to let them know what kind of podcast they're about to be in. But wow, dude. So, okay, that first nut, dude. What was that like? Was that good? Like, cause you did not. Because, dude, here's the thing. No one nuts the first time. I don't think
it's pretty good.
I would actually say, even if a dude, I know like for sure women usually don't come the first time they have sex because it's just awkward and awful, whatever. But on a guy's perspective, I didn't come the first time I had sex either, and so it's like, I just think if you do, there's something wrong. Like you're crazy or you have no boundaries at all because there's no way that you could just like first time ever with somebody be like, yeah. I mean, if you can, unless
like
you're with a professional.
I feel like that, like, maybe now.
Yeah.
Like at 27, that might be the way. You know, everyone's really just, they know that they don't want to be in a relationship and they just want to fuck.
For sure.
Then maybe it would happen.
But that's different. But I'm saying if I was like a virgin right now, if I had never had sex before and I came the first time I had sex with somebody, like if the other person was a virgin, right? We're both 25-year-old virgins. And we smash and we both come. something crazy going on, man. Like this fucking, I don't believe in astrology, but like something going on with the stars and the moon, because there's no way.
That's
like nobody does.
how you get pussy whipped.
Yeah, that's what
right
I'm saying.
from the get-go.
Well, that's what I know. Some guys that never had pussy before in their whole life. Like they just never were good with girls.
Yeah.
They were never good at talking with girls, and then they get a girlfriend.
Yeah.
And you never see dude again.
Yeah.
Like they were like that one homie.
It's a crazy game, man. There's a lot of there's a lack of heart in that whole game. You know what I mean?
Heart and what do you mean?
Like
what do you
just
mean
in the going out and having sex game. You know, you're just going out. Don't get me wrong.
Is that a game that people play?
It sounds very like. I feel like everyone fantasizes about something like that.
For sure, dude. That sounds like a cool game.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never played. I don't know.
Oh, you're talking about like a game.
Yeah, I've never played.
Well, I look at all these weird situations that we go through in life. They're all kind of like their own game. You know?
Yeah.
Like even this podcast right now. It's like this
podcast
weird
game, bro.
Where I'm telling people my deepest, darkest secrets.
Hey, bro, I do it every week, man. Don't worry about it. Yeah. It's,
no, I would tell everyone to their face. That's just it.
I know you would. That's why you would be great for podcasting. Yeah. That's why.
I'm really just I'm saving myself from this conversation.
Okay. So okay, wait. You were about to get.
I've talked to my girlfriend's mom.
Yeah. You were about to get into. You were about to say something about. So you think it's there's a lack of heart if people are just like hooking up and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I think you really have to like kind of harness more of your ego to live that lifestyle.
To just hook up
and let go of more of your
authentic self.
You know, like you're empathetic. Well, it just seems kind of like a cop out in a way.
Yeah.
Where you're getting an immediate satisfaction, and don't get me wrong, like I don't think any less of anyone.
Yeah.
I just found that I can't really indulge in that.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel real to me. It doesn't feel meaningful. It feels like just feels like a wrong move, you know?
Yeah.
Feels like I'll probably regret it somewhere down the line.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm
a guilty man.
You feel guilt a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too.
For stupid shit, you know?
Yeah.
Like maybe you shouldn't feel guilt for that. I don't think you should. I think everyone should be able to go out and have fun.
Isn't that crazy how you can have so much more empathy for other people and less so for yourself? Because I'm like that as well.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I'm like, you should do that, man. I'm like, I have homies that like men and women that like have gone through like a hoe phase, as people would say online, where like they're just smashing people.
Oh,
and I'm like, yo, you, man. And I'm like, or do you, whatever, girl. Like, I'm like, do it.
Yeah.
Do it. If you're having fun and it's consensual and everybody enjoys it, I'm like, I'm not gonna look at you any less.
Absolutely.
But then if I were to do it, I would seriously look at myself as less.
Well, it's like one of those things that I feel like I could do it, and then I know as soon as like I'm in a situation like that, I'd be like, I can't do it.
Because like why? Because like why would you do it? You would be doing it to probably avoid some other things you need to deal with.
Yeah.
You'd be doing it as a distraction.
Well, I'm afraid of hurting people too. You know.
Yeah.
Like if I don't feel like that's like something I really want, and I'm only doing it for the sex, and then maybe afterwards they would want more, I would feel really bad about myself.
Yeah. And you just gotta have a kid with them.
Yeah, right. And then honestly, my judgment might go awry then.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, they want to go out to breakfast, or
yeah,
you know, all those things would come into question when they shouldn't have to in the beginning. Because I could just be like, nope.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah, dude.
I didn't have sex with you, so I don't have to do any of those things.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't know. I've never done that. The like one night stand hookup thing myself either. So like I don't really know.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly for me. It's certainly fear based too.
For sure.
You know, it's not just.
Yeah, it's not because I'm better. Like I'm not like, I'm just this elite person that only has sex with me. It's like, no, I'm like afraid of that for sure. I'm also in a super deep committed relationship at this point, so like obviously this is all hypothetical, but like even when I wasn't, it's like I just never, like how you were saying, like there would be attractive people that would hit on you or were like you kind of like vibe with for a minute, but like they just want to smash. Like there has to be, like I have to kind of be playing house in my head with you to want to sleep with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And maybe I don't know. I'm not against
really
anything.
Have faith. I don't have faith in that many people either. Like.
I also think too. You take geometry in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know the transitive law of equality. Yeah. If you have slept with a bum, and then I sleep with you, I'm on the same level as a bum.
You know what else?
And that's not fair. That's not first off. I know that's super flawed, and that's not fair because like there are people that make mistakes and whatever, and I'm not gonna hold people to that. But sometimes that pops in my head.
Yeah.
It does.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude.
But I just don't think it's not fair. It's one of those things where it's like I know that is not fair to think, because like that would be like saying
anything is fair to think. Anything is fair to think.
Sure.
And I know that you're often too hard on yourself about shit that you think. And I know that you're just making it clear now because you're saying it out loud.
Yeah.
But that is totally fair to think. Are you kidding me?
Sure, fair to think, but I don't think it's fair to actually apply that standard.
Well, what I was going to say, you know what else works by the transitive property?
Okay.
STDs.
That's factual, yeah.
That's pretty similar to what you just said.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
I've
I've never had one.
I'm telling you, bro.
I would like to never have one.
After we, yeah.
And I think to some, not that you're a bad person if you have an STD.
Oh, no.
But I think to some degree.
Oh, no. Say it, bro.
Hey, I remember in health class. I remember in health class, my teacher, this is what he tells us. He goes, always carry a flashlight with you. And we're like, what? And he like let everyone kind of start talking and mumbling. And he's like, that way, if you're ever having sex in the dark, you can pull out the flashlight and make sure they're clean.
Wow.
Pulled that in our health class.
Holy shit, bro. That's a pro gamer move. Honestly.
Could you imagine if you had a kid and then that kid got chlamydia and like you had to take him to the doctor?
Yeah, super treatable, but yeah, that would be.
But like if you had to go with him and then you were also like, I had it a couple times when I was younger too.
Ooh.
Like a bonding moment.
Ooh.
Over chlamydia.
I mean, I guess that would be kind of a sweet moment. We're kind of doing
we're
doing an ad for chlamydia right now.
I wouldn't want it to be sweet.
Yeah.
I think it might be.
Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't be proud of him for it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's pretty avoidable.
Dude, you know my high school had like a clap problem not that long ago.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. It was like right after I got out of high school actually. There was like a whole like 2 grades of it. It was all getting clapped up. Yeah.
I know. That's
crazy.
Like
that's the other thing with dating in a small town, bro. It's like motherfuckers just like they just swap.
Yeah.
They just swap. Yeah. So it's like, it's.
I honestly wish I had that in me. From the bottom of my heart, I wish that I had that in me.
A chlamydia?
If that's what it takes.
Yeah, dude. I don't know, man. I mean, we salute you if you have an STD and are seeking treatment. I hope you're good. I hope it's curable. If it's not, then we hope you get the medication you need and live a long, healthy life. Yeah, I mean,
I am an insanely judgmental person. Okay. I'm very judgmental. Yeah. But I don't let it affect the way that I think or treat people.
Yeah.
But come on. You're gonna fucking lie. Like, who's not judgmental?
But people lie too, man. Like somebody you might think, aren't some STDs? Because that's a thing. Some STDs are like only really passable when you're like flaring up, right? So like you might think, like you might be fucking with somebody a couple of times, like you guys smash, and then like they didn't have fucking no genital warts or anything, whatever. You thought they were fine.
That's another game,
right? And they're fine, and you didn't get anything. But then like you fuck them the next time you see something, you're like, oh, maybe they just fucking razor burn.
Is this from experience?
No, but I'm just saying that's a real thing that can happen.
Yeah.
And I know people with fucking genital herpes that.
To me, that boils back down to respect.
Well, yeah, maybe you should tell people.
Yeah.
It's like I think there's a law. Is there a law? Can we look that up? There is a law. There is. I'm getting head nods. That counts as looking it up. There's a law. I'm pretty sure that you have to let people know.
Yeah.
Because that's fucked up.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's a whole thing that I feel like I don't have to worry about.
Can you get it if you do anal though, or no? You think you can get it if you do anal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say yeah.
Yeah.
Not that I know.
That's fair. I'm just thinking, just trying to help these people that might have STDs or not have STDs.
I just feel like anal would be a little bit dirtier.
Yeah.
Than regular.
Well, maybe if all the action's over here,
the action's over here
on the front side and I'm on the back side, I might be able to just. It's like taking a detour. You know.
Yeah. Like maybe one part of your body can have the disease and the other parts.
Well, it's like a rash, right?
Yeah, it's got to spread.
If you got a rash on your arm,
the logic.
You could still get a blowjob and not give that person a rash.
That's the logic.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's a risk I'm willing to take.
Yeah. So think about that, guys, next time before you get into that. But yeah, I don't even know how we got here. How did we get here?
But
that's what Kalyn always
beer.
says.
Can I have a beer?
Yeah, you can have a beer. Mike, can you get him a beer?
Could you give me a beer, Mike?
Yeah, come on, Mike. Get him a beer.
Hey,
he switched back to there we go. Well, while we're waiting for Mike to to detour through the mud, says Tim. While we're waiting for Mike to grab you a beer, what are we drinking, by the way?
Tim who?
Let me see this. Tim in the comments. I don't know. Let me see this beer
because it's not Tim Regan, is it?
Let me see. No, this beer. I want to show the people the beer because it's on me right now. Chili Rabbit Cold IPA. You from Lakefront Brewery too?
Thanks, dude.
Look at you, bro. You're an IPA guy?
I appreciate you.
It's a cold IPA too. Everybody's into cold IPAs now.
Isn't it weird that it's the Chili Rabbit?
My place has got a cold IPA on tap right now.
I don't like warm beer.
Well, that's a style of IPA too. Cold IPA is a style.
They're stretching.
Well, hopefully this one is
really
cold.
just trying to come up with shit nowadays, I feel like.
Well, yeah, in the craft brewing space, you got to have crazy name. That's the thing with craft brewing. I had one of my homies on that bartends at a craft brewing place as well, and we were joking. Yeah, thanks, Mike. That the names of craft, like of different beers, will be so silly. Like, and you'll love one, and then like they'll be like your favorite beer, and then like 2 weeks later they don't make it anymore, and you're like, well, fuck, I gotta find a new one.
I thought you were saying you love it just for the name.
Oh, you do that?
That's totally me.
We've got some good names at the place I work at.
Just like a movie, like Star Wars, that I has already earned my respect. If I look at a can and it's got a good name, it's over.
Wow.
Like I just
you're gonna force yourself to like it.
Called Stash Panda.
Stash Panda.
Not Trash Panda.
Wow.
I don't even get it.
I don't get it either.
I mean, I get that it's a play off of Trash Panda, but where does stash come from? I don't know.
Is it pistachio flavored?
No.
Was there pistachios?
Maybe there was like a mustache on the can.
But how? Yeah, what would that have to do with
I didn't even look. I just saw the colors and the name and immediately liked it.
I was coming up with my own names of beers. Do you have any good names of a craft beer?
No.
We were making a list. I was thinking like if Jack Harlow had his own, you know that song he had that came out last year, First Class. It was they sampled that Fergie song. You know, First Class up in the sky.
He sampled that?
Yeah, he sampled it.
That's a bold move.
But yeah, so he had this line in there that was like, they want to taste my sweet semen. And I was like, what if you did like Jack Harlow's sweet semen sour? And
That's the beer
It was
name?
a sour beer, yeah. And maybe there was a little bit of him in there, you know?
I don't know, man. I think if that were to happen, you would need to be in the commercial because I was lost in your eyes while you were saying that.
I'm going to pitch it to him one day. I've said it on recording twice now, so I'm definitely going to pitch it to him. I'm
more of a band name comer-upper.
Oh, yeah? You got any good band names? How come you didn't come up with any for us?
I say them all the time to you.
Yeah, but okay. But none of them have stuck. None of them have been good enough where we've been like, that's the one.
They would all stuck for me.
Okay.
I like really goofy names.
Yeah. Okay, give me one.
Well, what would like the Explorer? I thought Explorer Notes is great because of Arc.
Yeah.
Darren, Rita, and the Explorer Notes.
Can we talk?
But it also kind of makes sense because like notes, like music, like nobody would have known.
Yeah, what it was about.
You know,
no one would know.
And if you look at it like not knowing what Arc is, the Explorer Notes, that really does sound like we're just kind of like exploring our way through music.
Yeah.
But then to all of us.
Yeah, to us it would be this trauma that we've shared through this game. For people that don't know, you and I love this game. I've talked about it a little bit on this podcast. What are you trying to do with it? Do you want it to?
I don't know.
Well, you're freaking me out. Okay.
It's freaking me out.
All right, I'm gonna trust you with that.
It bends like that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it does. You see how mine is so nicely.
Oh, does this bother you?
No, it's just scaring me a little bit.
Just erect right towards my
mouth. Yours is right to the mouth. Yeah. Okay. So for people that don't know, we both played this game called Ark Survival Evolved, which
you go in for a little bit, but do not let me talk about this for a long time.
Well, I need you to talk about it a little bit because I brought it up thinking it's this fringe thing. Not a lot of people know about it.
Have you ever talked about it on the podcast?
A little bit on the podcast, yeah.
Was anyone who knew what the fuck they were doing? Anyone in a fucking alpha tribe? Bro?
Nobody in an alpha tribe, I don't think. So For people that don't know, Ark Survival Evolved is a survival game, which if you've played any survival game, you've played most of them.
Prehistoric times.
But this is like, well, it's this like, you wake up on this island, there's like alien technology, that there's these weird floating orbs, but you're also in this like, it's this prehistoric island. So there's weird like futuristic tech, but you're starting with basically fucking nothing. You're naked on a beach with stones and pieces of wood, and you're trying to evolve with the dinosaurs. And then you're just basically trying to survive. And there's other tribes also trying to survive.
And you can like upgrade your shit.
Upgrade your
stuff up to like alien super tech.
Yeah, so you start with literally like a thatch hut, and you move up to wood, and then stone, and then you get to metal, and then you go from metal to this like tech stuff. You can build underwater bases. It gets crazy. Most of the time, especially when you're starting out or when you're just by yourself or maybe a couple homies and you're learning the game, you're going to be just stuck in like a little stone hut getting bombed by some alpha tribes over and over again.
Yeah.
And that's
it's very survival of the fittest.
Yeah. And so this game,
there's no fucking mercy in that game.
This game you have an interesting relationship with, because you have I thought that I was the only person who spent way too much of their life playing this game.
Yeah.
Cuz it's a game where it's made where it's so grindy, like if you've played Minecraft and you have to like hit something for a couple of times before it's in your inventory. This game, you have to build the tools, so you have to punch a tree with your bare hands, pick up rocks on the beach.
Yeah,
and then
like
you
Minecraft though.
To start, yeah, and then you'll build a pickaxe, and then that pickaxe will break after you've broke maybe 100 trees.
Like Minecraft,
for sure. Less grind. Minecraft is a million times less grindy than this game.
Oh yeah,
because shit breaks sooner. It takes longer to get the resources. And then it's gone.
Yeah, if you're playing like an online PvP game, but you can cheat,
do
offline and just like raise all the.
For sure, you can do the sliders, the 2K sliders. But if you're playing online, you do all this. You spend days to make like a 20-foot square house. Yeah. There's nothing in this bitch. You got a bed, you got a little fireplace.
Like hours and hours every day
to maintain this, man.
Grind.
And somebody will come over.
It's not even fun. Like it is fun if you have that personality type.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, you literally put in all
you
that
put in
work,
all these hours. What happens?
And someone could just walk through and just like one click of their controller destroy everything you made.
Start
you
over.
Have to start all the way back from the beginning.
So what? Can you?
It's very incognito. Like if you were to be successful at it by yourself,
yeah,
you just had to be incognito as shit. That's where it gets really fun because.
Trying to hide and do stuff. Yeah, dude. I got big into referral. We'll get into the specifics in a minute. But so for you have a very interesting. You've had an interesting story with this game specifically.
Yeah.
What can you explain to people? Give me like the cliff notes, like explain to me what you went through with this game.
Well, my buddies got me into it, and I have a super addictive personality to like grinds like that and anything in life, and that was something that I could just mindlessly grind on all the time. And eventually, my friends stopped playing. I did the whole incognito. We'd build a whole house on a boat. That way it's a mobile base. You're never in the same spot because they just fucking search for you,
Oh, yeah.
They literally they got nothing to do. When you're up at the top, you have nothing to do besides PvP.
Yeah.
Which is just go kill people. Yeah. So they just scour the world
Send
for
one or two dudes on a wyvern or a mana, and they can make the whole. If you're on the island, they can make that journey
any of the fucking
super fast.
Any of the maps.
Yeah. Well, Ragnarok, you can hide a little bit easier because it's big.
Yeah, but you got like at the point when you have a tech helmet, it's like infrared and everything. You can't hide.
Yeah.
I'll go anywhere and I'll just fucking see a little red dot somewhere and be like,
yeah, I'm going there. So what did you do though specifically? Can you give me? You spent how much time of your life playing this game?
Way too much. Like a whole year, I was like playing it religiously.
You told me you didn't have a job, right?
Yeah, I didn't even. It was when I first moved out. Yeah. And I just had so much money saved up that there wasn't anything like.
How many months do you think you went before you stopped playing Ark?
Like literally a year, I think. Wow. Yeah. And then I might have even played it more when I got home.
Jesus.
But yeah, I just lived there for a year.
Yeah.
And then ran out of money after the year.
You were just playing Ark and ordering pizza
Ark
or
and guitar. I just literally just only playing Ark and guitar. Like I had the worst carpal tunnel.
Yeah. Because you're just playing video games or then playing guitar.
Everything that I was doing involved my hands and my wrists.
Wow.
And I had this whole fucking friend group that I made online.
Random.
Awesome people.
Wow.
Like they would like they would let me sleep at their house. They're really great people too, you know.
Wow.
They're all way older than me.
Interesting people on Ark. I met some
right?
scary motherfuckers on
I
Ark.
met those too.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I was in tribes with them sometimes, and they were wild. McKenna would play with me, so we would play Ark together. And we had a couple other buddies, and I remember we had this one guy in our tribe, and McKenna, like, you can make your character however you want.
Yeah.
For people that don't know, you can make your character, you can get really crazy with this. A lot of people make their people look like mutants, like just disgusting freaks of nature. McKenna, like, took the time to, like, kind of make her person look like her, and this guy in our tribe, like, again, when you die, you're, like, naked again, so she's, like, going to get her clothes back, and this guy's like, why is your guy so fat? And we were like, bro, what the fuck, dude? And like this guy, like, he was dead serious, like just this young kid. He was like a couple years younger than us playing this game, and he was like, McKenna, why is your character fat? And we're like, what the fuck, bro? Like,
well, like, you took offense to that?
No, dude, she did, because it was for real, like, looked like McKenna, and so, like, she's got a nice ass and whatever, and like this guy's like, why are you fat? And we're like, dude, that's what, like, a regular woman looks like. What are you talking about? And it was crazy, bro. It was just, like, wild. And then, I mean, he was a goofy kid, but
yeah,
it was fine because he did most of our taming for us, so we got over it.
Yeah, well,
I'm not trying to do
fucking
that.
Characters for sure. That's hilarious.
For people to understand,
offended by
for people to understand, bro. For people to understand, this game, if you can hatch babies between dinosaurs, you can have these two dinosaurs fuck each other,
imprint on,
and then if you hatch a baby, every couple hours, you have to fucking imprint. You have to do something, or the baby just dies, or it's just gone.
Yeah, if you're a gamer and you don't know what this game is, I would definitely look it up.
Look it up. Don't play it. Just watch people play it. It's not worth playing. Don't do it.
Yeah, it's a great idea for a game. Horribly executed.
It's broken.
It's insanely laggy. Maybe like the newer systems now, they hold it a little better.
They got it on PS5.
I mean, it's a very toxic game, honestly.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend it at all.
Did you ever cage people?
I regret. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I loved doing that.
Oh, I was a fucking asshole.
Yeah. What would you do? What was the meanest thing you did in that game?
Well, I would just... we were to the point where, like, you were just always on the brink of war, you know? Like, massive wars. Like, there were 75-man servers, and it was just... whoever more people could get into the server at once, that was the war, you know? And people would lag out, and then other team would get more people in, but... to the point where you're just always on the brink.
Yeah.
And you literally just, a whole server is yours.
Yeah.
So I would just go around like twice a day and with my tech helmet on, my infrared, and just look for anything that fucking moved.
Wow.
I don't care what stage they were at. I don't care if they were level 1 or anything.
Really?
People would literally, it wasn't even... that wasn't even mean of me. It was necessary.
Jesus.
People would literally make new characters and try and like sneak up to your fucking base and somehow, you know, shit gets crazy. They transfer like 1,000 fucking C4 onto their body somehow from hacking or whatever, and then they just blow all your shit up. And in the meantime, they don't lose anything. Yeah. Because they just started a new character and had one of their friends bring him just to sabotage.
Or they get sick. They know the sickness and they like
halves
all your stats.
Exactly.
Yeah, dude, I hate that bullshit. There'd always be some person either pretending to be a noob or was a noob, and they'd be like, "Hey, can I join your tribe?" And I'd be like, "Get the fuck away from me, bro." And you just do that thing. You're both like squatting up and down, like, "Yo, that's fine. I'm not gonna kill you, but get the fuck away from me."
I never made it to that point.
Oh, really?
They were dead.
No, I definitely did. It sounds like you were worse than me. I definitely did some crimes against humanity for sure.
You would do it too. If you were in that position, you would do it too. Because obviously I had been backstabbed plenty of times.
For sure.
Before I started acting like that.
Yeah.
Maybe if I was like really high and drunk or something one day, I'd be like, "Hey, bro, want a wyvern?"
And you just give them one?
Yeah, I'd just give them like a full.
Dude, those when people did that to me, dude, like I would cry. Tears of joy. Here's the thing: we were never alpha, bro. We were never. Me and my homies we'd play small tribes though, so it was like max 6.
That's the way to do it.
Which is way more fun. It's a little bit more balanced because then an alpha tribe there is like, if you just have a decent tribe and you're smarter than them, you could like at least win a fight. You still got to leave the server.
It's way more tactical. It's not so much like grind based.
Yeah, it's a little bit more fun that way.
Because at a certain point, it's just whoever spent more time with their eyes bleeding, looking at the screen, preparing for whatever was next. That's who would win, just because they had more resources.
Yeah, so it gets not fun fast. But the worst I ever did was we were playing small tribes, and these guys, they tried raiding us like 6 times in a row. Like, and we kept smoking them. And like we were not in a good, like we would strategically like hide in logs and like we'd have like little bases, and then we'd have like a vault somewhere hidden in the water, and that's where all of our good shit would be. These people would try to raid like our stupid little base, and my melee was always like super high. So like we'd all like specialize in something. For whatever reason, I just wanted my melee to be like, stupid high, so I could have a club, which people don't know. You don't play this game.
Fucking knock the shit out of people.
A club has higher torpidity than like if I was to stab you with something. So a club will knock you out before it would kill you. So one hit for me, doesn't matter what armor they're wearing. If I hit him in the head or the upper body, knocked out. So I would knock these dudes out because it was like this fucking 5th or 6th time they came trying to knock on our shit.
That's how you stop them for good.
So I knocked him out. We put him in a cage, and we kept him alive for like 2 days.
Yeah.
In this cage, because you can knock him out again and force feed him. Because if they die, then they spawn somewhere else.
Yeah.
But if he's not dead, he has to stay. He's stuck in that cage.
It's strange how fun the game gets when you have a live captive.
Yeah, man. Isn't it? It's not good for 2 white dudes to be saying it, but yeah, man, it did feel good, man. In that moment, I was like, and I get on the mic with this guy. We're on like proximity chat, and he's like, bro, let me out, bro. I'm like, no, fuck you, bro. Yeah. I was like, oh, were you just gonna give me back my shit if you've burned all this down?
Yeah.
We're just gonna give it back?
How many times had you been trapped in a cage before?
Tons of times, bro. I hated that. I just turned it off.
Previous anchors being taken out on him right there.
Yeah, I was like, bro, you can suck a dick, dude. I do not care.
Oh man, it's so devilish.
You'll lose faith in humanity playing that game.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You'll lose faith in video games
playing
that fucking game. Bad. Like that was one of the last games
that you played. Really?
Yeah, Ark, and then like I played Apex for a little bit, and then
oh wow,
I just don't play
no Fortnite
anymore. I tried it.
Yeah, you don't seem like a Fortnite guy.
No, the build. I mean, it was fun, but like once everyone remember how there was a small period there where people weren't like they couldn't build a skyscraper in a blink of an eye.
Yeah, it was a big deal.
Fun.
Yeah, that was.
But then like when everyone does that now, everyone's immediate.
There are tutors, bro. There's Fortnite. Like trainers, man.
Yeah.
No, I play no build if I ever play. I haven't played in months, but I have some friends that like to play. So every once in a while, I'll get on with them. We play no build.
Yeah, I already said fuck that game before they came out with that mode. Otherwise, I might still be playing it.
Yeah. It's fun just for the memes. I just like being tapped in for the memes.
Certainly battle royale games are the best thing to happen to
gaming, you think?
To like PvP games, I think.
Yeah. You know they have that for Ark now. They have survival.
Surprise me.
Survival of the fittest. And it's like you get like it's like a short term, so it's like it takes span over a couple hours.
Yeah.
But it's like you get dropped in, you got like however you got to split up. It's like 3 people or something. So like one of you goes builds the base, one of you go gets the tame, the other person gets the materials, and you just like hurry up, and then it's like all right, go time, fight.
Yeah,
that's pretty fun.
I would like there's a few games that I think were like you ever play PUBG?
I know of PUBG. I haven't played it though.
Man, same thing with Ark. Like great game, great idea for a game, horribly executed. Whoever made that game just ass. Yeah. They had no idea how to make it. They're just like great imagination.
Yeah.
And they knew what people would like.
Yeah.
They just didn't know how to make that. They didn't know how to like structure it. Like,
Or they need to pay some people to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of games like that,
That's most games now. I don't know if you saw, there was a big thing with the Star Wars Battlefront game that just came out. They re-released the old Battlefront 2. I don't know if you ever played that on PS2.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best games of all time. They re-released, so they like remastered it, so they upped everything to 4K and just like reskinned everything for PS5 and like the new Xbox. And they re-released both games. Somehow came out to like 70 or 80 gigs to download this, which again, this is a game that was like 2 gigs on the PS2.
Wow.
So it takes up your whole PlayStation, and the game was broken at launch.
Yeah.
It's a game that's already been out for 20 years, and it's fucking broken because they don't take their time. They just don't take their time with any of these games anymore. So that's why I don't play games mostly. It is. Speaking of corruption, well, not really. IG questions. I posted a couple weeks ago. I don't know if you saw. Well, you're off social media, so you didn't see it. But I posted that I was having members of my band on the next couple of weeks on the podcast, and people could send in questions that they wanted to hear. I forgot to get to them the last 2 weeks with Simon and Kalyn. So I have some that people, or specifically one that's kind of wild, that I want to do this with you.
Do you care if I go pee first?
Go pee. We'll do an intermission.
I mean, actually, I don't care.
I'll tell you guys the ones. We've got I'll do one that doesn't really involve or won't be good to ask Jake. Any performing horror stories? Asks Carrington. And I don't really have many, but I do have one that I've talked about a little bit on the podcast before, where my brother at my last show, He was killing. He's going crazy. He's doing his thing. He wanted to crowd surf, stage dive, which is great. He weighs like 80 pounds soaking wet, so that's like great for him to do. He's the perfect candidate for someone to stage dive. However, when you do stage dive, you should make sure that like people are looking. And these people, they're literally jamming in the front row. They turn, they're like talking to somebody, and that's right at the moment that he jumps. And he was supposed to jump like a minute earlier, 2 minutes earlier in the song, and he forgot to do it. So he jumped like towards the end of the song. So like hype's already kind of dying down, and he jumped, and his giant belt buckle he had on cut the woman's head who was front row. So that was awesome. Yeah, those are the Broadhouse. So shout out to them. Shout out to Logan for that. Yeah. But so that would be a performing horror story that I've had. Otherwise, not really. I did have another thing too, where at my last show, it's crazy. You said something to me that stuck with me a lot, and I actually started kind of writing some lyrics about it because it was kind of funny. We were talking about this show and like what we're putting together is. You said this is some cowboy shit, and it is. It really is, and that really resonated with me. And I've realized that that's just kind of the way that I operate in a lot of sense.
Yeah, you don't take. You're in your own fucking world.
I'm doing my own thing, yeah. And even like thinking back on that last show, I was just talking about. Someone asked about performing horror stories. With that show, there were so many things I had to do that like were very outside the box to get that done. And one of which was like I had rented all the sound equipment myself and like kind of figured out how to do it a little bit. And
you said performing horror stories?
Yeah, someone asked about like asked us if we had any performing horror stories, like from performances. Like
that was one of the questions.
Yeah, and so this was one that I was just doing myself because I figured
thought you meant like,
like horror,
like performing the horror stories.
Oh.
Do you know how to perform
a horror story? No, I don't know how one would do that.
Like, what the hell happens on this?
That would probably be just murder, I think. But they. So we did a whole lot of shit that was weird. I built the stage and had the sound equipment. And I remember one other thing that was kind of tough about that show that got me. I don't really get nervous in those kind of situations. I get kind of excited. Yeah. But the only thing that was pissing me off and frustrating me was like right before we went out, I had stuck my friend out there to like DJ for like the first like 45 minutes.
The Broadhouse?
Yeah. Before the show, he's supposed to DJ and get people excited. And he went out there and just immediately froze. Who was it? I'm not going to put him on blast here, but I'll tell you after.
Do I know him?
No, you don't know him. You know of him, but you don't know him. Great, good dude. Like we were fine. And he killed it when he actually performed later. But when he had to go on stage, he just like froze up. And then like he tried, like, so I told someone told me, hey, so-and-so's he's kind of awkward out there.
Oh,
I'm backstage. So, and then I'm like, okay. And so I tell somebody, I'm like, hey man, can you go out there and tell him to fucking just say some shit to everybody? Just the shit we practice. I'm like, just be like, hey, are you guys excited to see Darren, Rita, and whatever? And so I tell him to go do that. And he goes to do that, and then the mic's not working. And there was like something not plugged in. And then so the person comes back, and they're trying to ask me like, hey, what is it? And my whole thing was like, I'm not going out. I'm not going out before the show. So I'm like, I'm giving them notes and like trying to figure out what's wrong, and I can't touch any of it. And you know me, I'm very hands-on. And so like, yeah, dude, I'm just like, I'm trying to figure out. I eventually did figure it out, and it was working. It got it to work before the show and everything. But like, it was literally like
some good momentum going in. Huh?
Yeah, I was jacked up because I'd be sending someone out, and they'd be like, "That didn't work." They come back, they're like, "Oh, that didn't work. What do I do now?" I'm like, "Try this, and this."
This is like a Seinfeld episode.
So dumb, man, so dumb. But we got it to work out. So that would be like a performing horror story if I had anything like that. Now the one I wanted to ask you about is someone says, Sophie says, I want to know how many people dry their asshole with their towel after a shower, and then if they reuse that towel or always use a specific corner of that towel to dry their asshole so that next time
to do with performing?
So that next time they don't dry their faces with it. That's what they swiped up to my story about that I was having my band on. So you tell me what that means, man.
I'm pretty I accept filth. Okay. I think I'm a above average clean person.
Yeah.
But the filth that is there, you're never going to get rid of it. And if you fucking, if you look for it, you're going to find it.
Yeah.
You're never going to get it to go away.
Yeah.
Like Taya just told me some shit about every time you fart, there's
poop particles in that.
Yeah.
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 Oh, yeah.
So like she sent me this TikTok of an older lady saying that I can't stand people that sleep in their bed naked. because when they fart, then you get in your clean sheets with poop particles, every day. And I'm just like, okay. So what do you do then? Because you fart in your underwear.
Yeah.
So, and then you eventually get into your sheets or...
Yeah. Or you're farting in your underwear, which is still in your sheets.
Yeah.
Where's the particles going?
Oh, well, say you fart in your underwear. It doesn't just trap to your underwear. It just probably just smears around on you.
Yeah.
So then what? You take a shower before you go to bed?
Yeah.
And then you put new clean underwear on, then you fart in your sleep, and then are you going to shower in the morning
Gotta
too?
wash the sheets
Because
every day.
otherwise you're going to work with poop particles in your underwear. You're walking around in public with poop particles everywhere.
Yeah, man, that's why I try to sniff farts, because then I build my immunity to that, just build up my immune system so I don't have COVID. But yeah, I just think that's a little wild to think, I do sometimes what I'll do.
That's like I think that completely relates to that question.
Yeah.
Using a certain corner of the towel.
Yeah, no, dude, I'll tell you what I do. You seen that episode of SpongeBob with Mr. Krabs and his first dollar? That's what I do, bro. I'll rub that shit. I don't want any moisture in my taint, bro. Like, are you kidding me? Like, that's gonna be.
I'm never gonna forget that image.
Yeah, dude. Picture that.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Do you really do that?
As a joke sometimes, yeah.
What, like you just walk out to McKenna and you're like,
oh,
hey,
yeah.
watch this.
Dude, yeah, dude. I do some dumb shit when I get out. Yeah. I walk around the house pretty naked most of the time, yeah. Sometimes I think it's funny too, because I got I have like bigger windows, so like sometimes it's just fun to just like walk up naked and just like see, like, can anyone see me? And no one sees me, so I'm just like,
That's what you think. Somewhere out there, there's this weird. Yeah.
If somebody,
there's somewhere out there, someone has seen you once.
Yeah.
And they just staged a camera that's that's always filming that window, just knowing that once every 3 months you'll do that.
Hey,
and there's like a montage of it.
I guess any press is good press, though, bro. I'm good with
that. The only thing is they don't know your name.
That's fair. Hey, I'll wear this shirt next time. Maybe we'll figure it out. That's wild. Jake is actually the most clean man I know, says Tim.
Hey, Tombstone.
What's okay? I asked somebody this.
You gotta meet Timbo.
I'll meet Tim. Is he gonna be at the show?
Yeah,
Tim,
he will be.
Are you pulling up to the show? You better be at the show.
He gave me this nickname the other day that I've been saying on repeat.
Timbo Slice.
That's good. No, it's Spit Job.
Spit Job.
Just random. I was like, hey, man, why don't we have cool nicknames? And he goes, hey, Spit Job.
Wow.
And I'm like, that just immediately. I'm like, that's my nickname?
Yeah, that's a super dude thing to say. Just like, hey, man, why don't you call me something cool?
I mean, what is a spit job?
I don't know. It sounds like something you do before a rim job, maybe.
Yeah, it sounds extremely raunchy. And
yeah.
But
I love when Mike laughs, man.
But at the same time, it isn't anything,
Yeah.
It's just you're
Spit Shine. Spit Shine is like,
that's pretty clean.
Yeah, that's clean. That would be clean.
That's clean.
Spit Job is, I don't know what you're doing.
There's like a negative, dirty thing about that.
Yeah, just job.
Just job. Is the word job?
Yeah, rim job. Because rim job, blow job.
There's good jobs and there's bad jobs.
That's true. Yeah. That is true.
Tim would fit perfectly into this conversation.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
I asked
the job conversation.
The job conversation. Okay. I'm curious. Along the same lines, I asked somebody this a long time ago on the podcast, and I'm curious to get your response. Since you mentioned, filth is just going to be there, and especially with the towel thing. Like, I'm not washing my towel every day. Yeah. I wipe my clean ass with it. I got out of the shower.
Yeah.
I'm clean. I wipe my clean ass.
I clean my asshole very thoroughly.
That's what I'm saying. I'd be digging in there, bro. Yeah. I have to.
Oh yeah.
I have to. And
sometimes it feels good. What?
Yeah. Clip. Mike says clip. But I'm curious with on the line of towels. When you after you nut, dude, like how many times can you nut and use like the same article of clothing or towel to clean it up before you're like, oof, this is like
paper towels and baby wipes.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Every time?
Just reloaded my little nightstand today.
Wow.
And it also comes in handy if you're like eating like Doritos or something in bed.
Okay.
You just got, it's a multi-use thing.
Wow. Do you okay?
That's dirty.
Okay.
I think that like whoever brought up, what was her name, Sophie?
Yeah.
I bet she uses a fucking cum rag.
I bet so.
I bet her and her man use a cum rag.
Yeah.
And she's over here worrying about the fucking corner of the towel you use to wipe your asshole with.
Yeah. We got a couple shirts that we'll go to. That like are just go-to shirts that like we know neither of us wear. And so like after it'll be like, oh, we got to clean this up.
Yeah.
Be like, go find one of those shirts. Then I just wipe it up and then put it in a
And
the
then
washer.
every now and again, all those shirts are just missing.
Well,
And
just
then a new one gets incorporated
Yeah.
into the
But I'm
rotation.
saying, like, you never, like, I don't know. Well, I don't know how early you were jerking off, but, like, were you always jerking off into towels or into, like, paper towels? Because I don't like jerking off into a towel because it's like, or paper, not a towel, a paper towel, because it's like,
yeah.
because it's paper and then,
I
like,
never
it gets stuck
used
to you.
anything washable because every now and again, my mom, well, at
But don't
some
it get-
point
it
it
don't-
stopped. At some point, my mom just stopped doing my laundry in total.
Yeah.
But like there was a gray area there where like I was doing my own laundry, but
Sometimes.
she would just be in a good mood one day and just be like, "Let me help out my son."
And she just gets
Well, that never happened because
Yeah.
I never. That was like a fear from day one.
But I'm saying, like, you never had, like, the towel that, because if you're using, like, paper towel or you're using, like, tissue, that shit don't, like, you don't get any of that stick into your wiener after you've jizzed into it.
Oh yeah, sometimes you gotta get it wet.
See, that's why just a regular towel is sometimes a little bit more just easier.
Well, it's dry too. You get the wet. You get the.
But no towel is sticking to me then. Sticking to my wiener.
Oh
after, you know
no,
what
it
I'm
never.
saying? Or are
never,
you
the
shooting
towel
it into
itself
the?
never sticks to me.
Mm,
I'm saying like I'll wet it to like clean everything down. Final wipe,
mm,
or I'll just get in the shower.
that's fair. Yeah. When was the first time you jerked off, you think?
That's a good question. I remember it was into a toilet.
Yeah, mine was too, actually, I think. Because I remember I tried for the first time, I think, towards the end of 6th grade. And it was because, like, a friend of mine had showed me porn at school. He'd, like, told me about it. And I was like, whoa, that's cool. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
And then I went home. I had a PSP, so I couldn't. There was no Adobe Flash player on a PSP, unless you could maybe there was a
So you're
third-party
trying
app. So I tried to watch videos. You can't. It couldn't play videos.
Yeah.
So I could just, like, look at the thumbnails. Online.
Nah, mine was
I
straight
would do that.
memory, or mine was like imagination.
Oh, I did that a lot too. But
My
for
first
my first
time
go,
I'm talking about.
yeah. Oh, for my first time,
Dude, it didn't take much. First time.
did you finish though the first? I didn't finish till the first.
Yeah.
time.
I don't think anything came out,
Yeah.
but
don't
I don't remember. I was mind blown. I
Really?
straight up didn't even know what it was.
Wow.
I didn't know like
Did you feel bad afterwards? I felt really bad.
no.
I felt really guilty afterwards.
I don't remember. I think there is probably some suppression, some subconscious suppression of that.
Yeah.
So maybe I did feel bad.
I just felt really bad about it. Like, I remember the first few times that I jerked off. I was like, oh my God, I can't do this.
Yeah, I don't think I ever really felt that. I think the only bad thing that I felt was just making sure that my parents didn't find out, because goddamn, how awkward would that be? Did you ever get caught?
No, I got close to getting caught a couple of times, but no.
Yeah, I think I got close to getting caught once,
Yeah.
but it's way weird.
You
yeah.
ever walking on someone else?
No, but Tombstone.
I have a couple of times. Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yeah,
It's cool.
it's.
I think it's funny, and then afterwards I'm
there's
like, yo,
certain
that's
friend groups
dope, man.
that just wouldn't fly in.
Yeah.
Like there's certain friend groups. I think in high school, a couple of my friend groups were, at least that was my assumption. Like if any one of us were to walk in on each other jerking off randomly,
Yeah.
which I don't even understand how that would happen.
I'll give you a
Like
situation.
I wouldn't be jerking off if my friend was in maybe once I did that.
Yeah, dude, it's happened, bro.
I remember we all got high once, and
And just all like,
dude,
you guys
there was
put
like
up some
8
blinders
dudes
and
that
just
got high,
okay.
and immediately I was like, it was I got like 4 people high for the first time that night.
You're just feeling good,
And
excited,
I was
maybe.
like, dude, you got to try jerking off high. So
Wow.
we all took turns going into the bathroom.
Yo, dude. Okay, that's great that you say that, because when I was, I think I was a junior in high school. I remember I was, my one friend, his parents were out of town, so like he was having everybody sleep over, and I want to say there was probably like 12 of us ish. This is a decent sized house, so it was like lots of space for everybody. And this one guy, he paid for Brazzers. So like he got his mom's credit card or something. He got Brazzers, and he goes, we all shared a password, and everyone just went like, all right, let's go. And we all just, different rooms. Did
Really?
it. Yeah.
Different rooms.
I was in a different room. I was in my own room. I was in the guy whose house
Little
it was
do
room.
you know.
Maybe someone else was in there.
Maybe.
That'd be embarrassing, I think.
It's just so not weird in the moment, but when you look back on it.
When you look back at it, you're like, holy shit, how
Like, what
horny
if we
how
do
horny
that
did it
right-
have to be?
Yeah.
If we did that right now, I would jump out the building.
Yeah, that'd be pretty weird.
Yeah, I'd have to be like jacked up on back. Dude, I knew some guys when I was in high school that they were trying to convince me to come to this party. It was just going to be like the 6 of them at this dude's house, and they're like, we bought 7 or 8 of these pills from the gas station. We're all going to take them, and just no one can leave.
Rhino pills?
Yeah, and they were just like, we're going to take this knockoff Viagra, and no one's allowed to leave the house. We're just going to see what happens. What do you mean? We're going to see? What, are we going to fuck each other? What do you mean we're going to see what happens?
Sounds like a good time to me, brother. I take it I know these people.
No, I don't think so.
No?
I
I thought you were just
they're a little
telling me
older than me.
about it.
They're a little older than me. Maybe I did tell you about some other thing. I'm curious. Can you hear Jimmy?
Jimmy?
Can you hear Jimmy?
Is that
Have you seen White Men Can't Jump?
Yes, we just watched it actually.
You know the scene with Sidney Dean when they're driving in the car and listening to, and Billy Hoyle puts Jimi Hendrix on, and Sidney Dean goes, "You can't listen to Jimmy. You can't hear Jimmy." And he's like, "I love listening to Jimmy."
Is that his character's name?
Yeah, I think the white guy, Woody Harrelson is Billy Hoyle.
Remember we watched that in the hotel and
It's a good
Lake
movie.
Geneva?
Love that movie. Love that movie, but it's like it's a joke, like white people can't hear Jimmy. Like you can't feel what Jimmy's feeling. You can't hear him.
No,
Can you hear Jimmy, you think?
I'll tell you right now, if you look at my last however long I've had Spotify, Jimi Hendrix has been my #1 listened to artist every year.
Yeah. Do you play a lot of Jimi Hendrix then, I imagine? Do you play it? Like, can you play
on
it?
guitar?
Yeah.
Actually, surprisingly not that much. I learned a bunch of his shit when I was younger, but that's like a bad habit of mine that I don't really play. I think we were talking about this. Like, I don't have any real structure to when I play. I like to, like how we were
Just
talking
do
about
things.
before, like kind of be
Spontaneous. You're just playing. You're just playing whatever you feel, as
Yeah,
opposed to like going like, I'm gonna practice for this thing and I'm gonna do this every day until I have this song down. Like,
yeah.
so you kind of do it the other way, where you're just like, I'm just gonna do what I feel.
I forgot. I learned so much music. I learned so many songs to play, and I don't remember any of them, or very few of them at least.
Yeah.
And it just, there's like this thing in my mind that was just all a big waste of time because I don't even remember how to play those now.
Yeah.
So I kind of just have this vendetta against that because I feel like I'm gonna forget them again, and then I just wasted time.
Yeah.
Which is really not healthy.
And I don't think it's true, because I think even just learning those songs, you're still getting reps in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I learned a bunch of plays from different coaches playing basketball all the way through college, right? But it's like, some of those plays were fucking ass. Some of those coaches were ass. But I don't think it was a waste of time. I was still learning if it's a decent play, or even if it's not a good play, like, you're still learning like when you should be back cutting, or when you should be cutting. Like, you're still learning the technical thing. And even if you knew all the chords and everything ahead of time, even just changing between those different chord shapes, I'm sure that had to be helpful. And
absolutely,
and rhythm and feeling what it's like.
Yeah,
to
that was the
complete
best
something.
way. If anyone's trying to learn an instrument, I would highly recommend coming from maybe a little more of a abstract perspective. A lot of people are like, learn the scales right from the beginning.
Yeah.
And Kalyn and I agree on this. Just play the things that you want to play. Play what you want to learn to play.
Yeah.
And stay inspired for as long as you can, because that first year of learning how to play an instrument, the most important thing is inspiration.
Yeah.
If you lose that, you're not going to want to learn anymore, and then there's no way you're ever going to learn because you just don't want to do it anymore. You got it out of your system.
Yeah. And the key word is want, right? Where it's like, again, I don't want to learn the fucking scales if I'm playing. I want to learn how to play this Jimi Hendrix song.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do that. That's what like people do, and I get into this where I have issues with a lot of people because of this sometimes, where it's like, I think everybody does what they want to do. And I think just sometimes people aren't honest about what they want to do. Like, I think a lot of people would like to be a good guitarist, or would like to be a successful podcaster or something. Like, they'd like that if there's all these circumstances that line up and it's super easy for them to do it. Yeah. But if you want to do something, you'll be there. It's the same thing with, like, if I wanted to go, like, let's say you were having a party or something, and you tell me about it, however, in advance, and like that day's coming up and I don't do it. I don't show up. I might have liked to go, like it might have been all right, but I didn't want to. I wanted to do whatever I ended up doing. Depending on what it was. And obviously there's circumstances like if someone's in the hospital or some crazy comes up, but I think in general, I think people do what they want to do. And I had a coach that really put it like that. He was like, there's a difference between people that would like to be a successful, I think he was talking about like high jumping or something. He was like, there's people that would like to be a successful high jumper, and there's people that want to. And the people that want to are going to be here at 5 o'clock in the morning doing their stretches and doing da-da-da-da. And the people that would like to will come to practice if and when it's easy and when it's convenient and whatever. And it's like even for me, like someone who I'm honest about the fact that I would like to play more instruments, but I know I don't want to right now, because I would. If I wanted to, I would. But I would love to, like I would like to. I like the idea of it, but I just know with all the other things I have going on that I want to do those more.
I can relate to that very much, but probably more towards the opposite side of you know, I take that party instance you were just talking about.
Yeah.
Maybe you wanted to go to the party, whatever. And then the moment comes down to it, maybe you should start getting ready. And I will often have those thoughts where, well, I know I should go and I know I'll have fun when I do go to there. And because I used to be a huge fucking flake.
Really?
Yeah. Like I would be 100% down for the idea of whatever we were going to do.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it would turn into me just I want to stay here and continue playing guitar, or stay here and continue watching this movie. That same thing would pop into my head about what I want to do in that moment, but it would be towards the more negative thing, where what I needed in that moment was to go to that party. Yeah. You know I'd been maybe watching movies all day or playing guitar all day already. Yeah. Now it's time to go to a party for 3 or 4 hours. And this was towards my, I wasn't as social at that part of my life. Yeah. Towards the beginning of high school.
What do you think it was? I was like, because obviously, yes, you wanted to do both things. Like, and maybe in your mind, at least, you were like, yeah, I would want to go to that party. I guess how I interpret it is like, in your mind, for that specific example, it sounds like you would have liked to go to the party, but in that moment you were like, well, I just want to do this. And it's like, I'm not saying maybe it is a little bit of like short-sightedness or a little bit of like instant gratification. It's like, well, I'm doing this right now and I like this. I like the way this feels, so I want to keep feeling this way, as opposed to I know I have to do something else to go do that.
I think I was more lying to myself, and I was probably afraid to go to that party, and then I would just tell myself that I want to stay home, play guitar, and that's beneficial to me, you know? So I really do relate to what you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
But I have it is kind of this fine line you have to walk between what you need to do and what you want to do. And sometimes it's really easy to go too far on the want side. Yeah. And then I want to have the whole pizza. Yeah. I know I only need 3 of the pieces, but I want it, you know? Yeah. That's kind of like, I remember Pat was on, and he was saying gluttony?
Gluttony, yeah.
Yeah, right? Isn't that kind of like the same?
Yeah, gluttony is just like if you're overindulgent in anything, right? Yeah. It's just like some people are overindulgent in like their sexual escapades that we were talking before. Like they're just like running through a bunch of people, and then, bad things can happen with that. Or with food, that's the one common thing, gluttony. Or drinking. People often get gluttonous with drinking, or it's like that like you want to have a good time and you're like, oh, I have a couple drinks, and then you maybe, spill into the deep end. You start doing too much. But yeah, even I always say this though too, when it comes to gluttony specifically, like moderation, they say everything in moderation, including moderation. I think it's okay to have a spot, like to have times where it's like, and that could go for anything. That could go for like positive things. Like right now I'm like kind of locked in. Like I'm not really doing anything that's fun. I'm just grinding, getting ready for the show. And then I'm trying to take care of my business stuff and take care of my TikTok and all this other bullshit I have going on. I'm grinding. But I also think like there's a time and place where it's like, all right, I want to celebrate. Like if you want to get blackout drunk because you fucking killed this show at the Vivarium on the March 29th, I would not sit there and be like, Jake, you're really being overindulgent in your drinking tonight, man. Like, nah, bro, fuck it. Yeah. Like you fucking deserve, like everything in moderation, including moderation. Like you deserve a time to eat the whole tub of fucking ice cream because that shit's good for your soul too. You know what I'm saying? Like it can't be you can't be this monolith, super healthy person 99% of the time. We can't be this super spiritually woke person who's always got a wise thing to say. Sometimes you got to be like, nah, fuck them, bro.
For sure.
Nah, fuck my ex. You know, like you just got to be like on some immature shit sometimes. Like you just got to do, you have to do that too. Yeah. That's a balance, I think.
Absolutely. It's a balance.
Yeah.
And I right now at this point in my life, I'm swaying towards I'm being too gluttonous. I'm being too okay with the things that I want. When before, you know, I wasn't. It was like, I want to do this. Too fucking bad. Yeah. Too fucking bad. You have to do this.
Yeah.
This is going to be better.
What are you being too gluttonous with?
Just laziness, really. Anything that's laziness. I'm too comfortable. You know, I've been working the same job for 5 years. Been with a girl, you know.
Yeah, I've been with this girl too long, man. No, I'm just kidding. I say that when people ask me, McKenna, they go, "Are you guys getting married? How long you been together?"
Yeah.
I go like 7 years.
Well, you
almost.
just settle in.
I go too long, man. Too long. But I'm joking,
sure.
obviously. But yeah. But you're saying in general that you feel stagnant right now, maybe.
I think I feel stagnant. I mean, this whole playing
this will feel
band
different. Yeah.
Is well, it already does.
Yeah.
And it's helped me a lot in other ways than just music, you know, just in discipline at home. And it's just I really rely, or I can really rely on structure. And you know, I was talking about this with Tim actually the other day. You know, he wants to join like a jiu-jitsu gym or
that's cool,
kickboxing gym, you know, specifically just so that you have that structure.
Yeah.
It was so much easier when I was going to school, or, you know, having all these other rules where I was going to see people just like me. I couldn't miss school all the time. Yeah. You know, I had to go there.
Yep.
And there's all these people there just like me. Yeah. And it was way easier for me to come home and be like, I bet all these motherfuckers aren't working this hard.
Yeah.
Guarantee they're not doing this. Guarantee they're not doing that.
Yeah.
And that does kind of relate back to maybe ego a little bit.
A little.
But
there's something too.
It doesn't become great without
you
ego.
Need some structure.
You know, Taya says that to me all the time.
Yeah, you need some ego. You need some structure, man. You need that. You need it. I mean, if you think about it, like, I don't know. You have to put in time. And you have to do things consistently, and everything adds up. So it's like having a little bit of structure goes a long way, and you kind of feel lost without it, man. Like, you ever been unemployed for a little while? Or probably when you were playing ARC for a whole year, yeah. I mean, well, at least you had ARC for some direction, at least virtually. You felt like you were doing something. But, like, I remember being unemployed for a little bit. And, obviously, I still had all this and whatnot. But it was, like, I really, like, and I struggle with depression and anxiety as it is. And I was, like, fucked up, man. Because I was, like.
With depression and shit?
I was just, like, there's nothing going on. I was, like, I don't know what I'm doing every day. I don't know
Isn't it so strange how. For me, even to get out of a situation like that, it's just the littlest things that make yourself feel better too. Yeah. You know, maybe going to visit your grandma, or like that you never do. Yeah. You go visit your grandma, or you decide to do this chore for your mom or dad, which you never do. You know, that's how I was in a spell like that for a little bit too. Yeah. And then it made me really afraid to go get a job.
Yeah. Yeah.
And who would even want me?
You know, you have all those shits. And I think too, but like in general, without any structure, at least in my mind, and I'm sure maybe other people work differently, I need like this schedule. I need this structure, you know, of some sort, and I feel more free in that. Like the fact that, like, I mean, you could look, my checklist is psychotic over there. It looks like scribble, but like I have like a million things I got to do in a week. Do I ever get them all done? No, not usually. But like having all these things, and I have like of when they're going to be done, like when I have a fully busy day of like doing all these different things, and maybe I have rehearsal, and then I have to post, and I have to do whatever, something about that, as long as it's like it's within the tools that I have at my disposal to do it, I feel so much more free than if it was just like, let me just rot on the couch all day. And don't get me wrong, again, with the moderation thing, sometimes you do need that day to just chill on the couch. But for me specifically, I feel way less free in doing that than I do like constantly moving. Mm-hmm. So kind of hard. It's a weird balance.
Yeah, it's certainly I think a lot of people go through that at this age. You know, I always bring up like the 20 to 30 range, which is something I learned from my therapist. It's crazy. Everything's changing. You know.
Yeah.
There was so much structure in high school, and then if you went to college, there was so much structure with that too. And then it's all gone. Now you are free to do. If you don't want to fucking work, you don't have to. If you want to be a bum, live on the streets, you can. If you want to be working 10 jobs, you can do that.
Yeah.
You can. It's all up to you now, and everyone kind of has to figure out what route they want to take. And then not only that, all your friends are choosing their own routes, which might be routes that you disagree with. And then, if you're in a relationship, especially like in your case where you guys were together before, would you start dating when you're 19?
When I was 18, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we dated when we were in high school, and then we started dating
Exactly.
again once we were 18.
That's kind of like I think shout out Sam and Troy. I think it's amazing how they have stuck together this long. I find that, and then now they're married.
Yeah.
I find that absolutely amazing.
Dude. I mean, I think like that's one thing that if you are fortunate enough to have somebody that you go through all those different changes with, I definitely think that like makes it a little bit stronger of like a connection, just because you went through, like you both went through all these firsts, like these millions of different firsts together. So that's like a crazy connection to just have shared with somebody, like regardless if a relationship works out or not, to have gone through all that shit together.
Well, I mean, we've all had that just with friends too, like friends that you've grown up with before high school.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they start choosing this route. And
it's tough too to figure out that something that's fun for me to think about, because I often, being somebody who is pursuing a career in entertainment, I get really down about my age. I'm like, fuck, I'm 25.
The ticking time, the clock. You have a constant clock going on in your head where you think you're running out of time.
Yeah. So I'm like, fuck, man, I'm 25, bro. Like, pop, every pop star forever will always be younger than me now. Yeah. Like once I hit 21, that was the case.
Yeah.
And like I was like, fuck. And so you have to have this like delusional self-confidence that like you like have to lie to yourself sometimes and be like, it's gonna work out, even though it's now I'm 25. And I tried, the thing that makes me feel better a little bit that I've seen people start doing on TikTok recently is like saying how 25 that's your season 1 of Friends. Monica and Rachel are 25 in the first season of Friends, and they do a whole lot of shit in that show, and I love that show. I've always loved that show.
You just gotta continue to find people that
It made me, but it made me like feel a little bit better. I'm like, okay, man, 25, like so much happened still, and they still felt young when they were getting done with that show to me. So I'm like, okay, it's not over. It's definitely we're on the back nine, even though we're not really on the back nine.
25, assuming that we're gonna live to 100 years old, which I bet you any money we will, just because of where technology's going. That would be 6 a.m. through the day. Yeah, it's 6 a.m. in the morning. Yeah. You're fine. Yeah. Got plenty of time. Don't look at it in comparative to other. I know, that's sure other people were pop stars by 6 a.m. in the morning, but that's pretty fucking crazy that how long were they awake? Yeah. You know? Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Yeah. And who were their parents? And
well, all these other besides, like I was doing the same. Like you could look at it in the wrong way too, where the 27 Club. I'm 27.
Yeah, you're old
all
as
these
fuck,
people
bro.
became
You old as dirt, bro. What was it like with the pterodactyls and the fucking, what'd you have, Stegosaurus? Like, how'd you get to school? Horseback?
Yeah, it was a lot better than today.
Yeah?
Yeah. Fucking bunch of pussies today.
Yeah. Okay, so you're saying, so 27, though. You're in the 27?
Yeah, there's like, how many people are legendary and they died when they were 27? They already did all this legendary shit. There's a whole club of people that died when they were 27, and they already achieved legendary status. Yeah. You know, you can. It's just the light that you want to look at things in, and I think that is our duty as humans to always look at things in the best light. And when you turn 26, there'll be someone who, there'll be a different friend story, or maybe it's the Always Sunny story, or maybe it's the.
I gotta find something, bro.
That's what I mean. Yeah. I mean, fucking. I like. Here's a really easy one. Willie Nelson. I think he was like 47. Yeah. When he blew up. Wow. So there you go. What I just gave you like.
Just gave me a new lease, a whole nother life.
I just gave you 22 years that you don't even have to.
Wow. Maybe then I'll be rapping at 47.
Willie Nelson's cool as shit.
Yeah. That'd be crazy. That'd be wild.
Who knows, man? You might not even be into that kind of music. Maybe you're making something way different. Maybe you're on like some abstract shit that no one else made yet.
You see Andre 3000? He came out with that like whole flute album.
What?
Yeah, he's some like crazy flute.
Is he playing?
No, yeah, he played the whole thing. There's not a single lyric on the whole album.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's
I
pretty
was just
wild. It's pretty
talking
wild.
to someone yesterday or 2 days ago about that.
Really?
About Andre 3000.
Yeah, he just came out there like last year.
There's like a few actors that are just in that, or musicians, actors, and they're just, and Cuddy was one of them.
Yeah.
You know, they're just great at everything they do.
Yeah.
No matter where they go.
Yeah. Andre 3000 is definitely one of them.
Yeah.
Definitely one of them. Amazing guy.
Yeah.
Is there anything we didn't get to today that you want to get to before we wrap? Anything that you'd like to say, or any questions for me or Mike, Taya, anybody in the studio? Anything you want to get off your chest before we wrap?
I
feel like we did pretty good.
We covered a lot of things.
We did. We did get to a lot. This is your first time on a podcast, right?
Yeah.
First time online, and who knows how long.
Yeah, probably forever.
Yeah, probably forever until I force you to do it again. That's the next podcast when I'll force you to be back. Well, good. I'm glad you're here. I'm thankful. Thank you guys for both making the drive out here. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
Of course, dude. Of course. P. Dizzy says I'm gonna need that shirt, D. Rita. We got you. We got you with the hookup. March 29th. Before we wrap today, I want to say thank you to everybody who tuned in live, as well as those that are gonna listen days after here on YouTube or over on Spotify. If you're new here, you can click any of the links down below to connect with me. Otherwise, I want to say a quick shout out to our patrons. This will be up on the screen right now. If you're interested in getting behind the scenes access to extra podcasts, extra videos, as well as a series where I break down how I mix, master, write, and record every single one of my songs, go to patreon.com/Darren Rita to help support the channel for as little as $1. Also, shout out to Go Nutz for sponsoring another episode of the podcast. That's code Rita47 at checkout to save some cash and support the channel. And don't forget, we're playing live March 29th. It's less than what is it, 11 days, 12 days, something like that. It's coming up so fast, and I'm so pumped. Tickets are moving. Buy yours today. Bring everybody you know. Bring your mom. Bring your dog. Bring your cousin.
It's gonna be wacky.
It's gonna be crazy, dude. It's gonna be crazy. So don't miss it. And then that's it, guys. That's all I gotta say. This has been the 246th episode of the Detox Podcast. I will see you guys next week. Peace.